Stop waiting for the right time. It's now or never.
Stop waiting. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop waiting for the right mood, the right mindset, the right sign from the universe. The world doesn't stop spinning for your hesitation. Time is not your ally, it's your final opponent. The truth, you are running out of time. Every second you delay is a second stolen by fear. Every day you sit still is a day that dies without purpose. You've told yourself, I'm almost ready, but almost ready is still not moving. And if you're not moving, you're slipping. There is no pause in this life. There is no neutral gear. You're either building your future or being buried by your past. And deep down you know it. You feel it at night when the noise fades. You feel it when your heart reminds you that there is more, and you're not living it. That fire you try to smother with distraction still burns beneath the surface. It doesn't go away. It waits, but not forever. Because one day, you'll wake up and there will be no more time left to chase the life you could have had. One day someday becomes too late. One day your excuses will rot into regrets. One day someone will ask what you could have been, and you'll have no answer but silence. This is not a game. This is not a rehearsal. This is it. Right now, as you breathe, your window is open, and you don't know how long it stays that way. You think you have time. Tell that to the dreams that died with their creators. Tell that to the ideas buried in graves, never spoken, never lived. The right time is not coming. The right time is now, because now is all you ever had. The idea that you must wait to feel ready is a lie sold by fear and disguised as logic. And it has cost more greatness than failure ever has. The greatest enemy of action isn't failure. It's hesitation. It's comfort. It's waiting for life to make sense before you move. But life won't make sense until you start moving. Clarity is not the beginning of change. It's the reward for action. You want to find yourself, then lose yourself in pursuit. You want confidence, then earn it by keeping your promises. You want momentum, then take the first step and never stop stepping. Do you think Edison waited for motivation before he tried again? Do you think Carnegie waited for someone to believe in him before he believed in himself? Do you think the people who built empires were handed perfect timing? No, they moved through chaos. They stepped while shaking. They pushed through rejection, betrayal, fatigue, and doubt because they knew one truth. You don't wait for the right time. You make the time right. The clock is not waiting. The world doesn't slow down for your feelings. Your dream isn't sitting quietly, it's screaming. And every time you say not yet, it dies a little more. How many days have you already lost? How many tomorrows have you buried under the weight of maybe later? How many more will you sacrifice? Because let's be honest, it's not the world holding you back. It's not your circumstances. It's not your job. It's not your past. It's you convincing yourself that later is safer, but later is a lie. Later is the silent assassin of potential. Later is how people wake up at 70 with bitterness in their bones. Later is the road that leads to regret. There is no such thing as the perfect time. There is only this time, and this time, this moment, this breath. It's not asking you for perfection. It's not asking you to have all the answers. It's asking you to move. Because once you move, the world changes. Doors appear, opportunities align. The impossible becomes inevitable, but only after you've moved. And if you never move, then nothing moves. Not the world, not your future, not your soul. You think you're waiting for the right time, but what you're really doing is hiding. Hiding behind comfort, hiding behind overthinking, hiding behind the illusion of planning, preparing, waiting for stars to align. You are not a satellite. You are not here to orbit around your potential. You are a fire, and fires are meant to spread. But fire doesn't ask if the wood is dry. It burns anyway. You have everything you need. You've always had it. It's just buried under fear, doubt, and the lie of not yet. But today, you can dig it up. You can rise. You can draw the line and say, this is where I stop waiting. This is where I begin. Because the person you want to become, the life you crave, the vision you can't shake, it's not waiting on the clock. It's waiting on you. The life you crave, it's not out of reach. It's just on the other side of your mindset. Because nothing changes until you do. And the first thing that must change is how you think. This world is not shaped by luck. It is shaped by those who refuse to surrender their minds to the noise, to the fear, to the story that says you're not ready. Your mind is a battleground, and every single day the war is on. Not between you and the world, between you and your old self. Between the you that wants to wait and the you that was born to rise. If you want a different life, you have to think like a different person. You can't carry old thoughts into new seasons. You can't wear the mindset of survival and expect to build a future of significance. Winners don't think like the world. They don't wait for signs. They don't beg for proof. They believe first and move before the path is clear. Because belief is not a feeling. It's a decision. It's waking up every day and saying, I don't need the world to believe in me. I believe in myself enough to begin. I may not have it all figured out, but I will show up like I do until I do. That's belief. That's power. That's the fire that builds empires in silence while the world sleeps on your name. But you must protect that belief, because the world will try to dim it. It will throw distractions at you. Comparison, comfort, controversy, endless scrolls of lives that aren't yours. Whispers that say, you'll never catch up. It's already too late. But here's the truth. You are not late. You are just early in your process. And your process doesn't need their timeline. Don't rush to be seen. Rush to become unshakable, because belief without clarity is chaos. And clarity is what carves your direction. You don't need to know everything. You need to know where you're headed. You need a why so strong it cuts through noise. A vision so loud it silences fear. Clarity isn't built through thinking. It's built through doing. It's built through moving forward, failing forward, and learning while in motion. The greatest minds in history didn't wait to be certain. They moved through fog, through resistance, through fire, with vision in their chest and doubt on their back. Clarity is a compass. It tells you where you're going, not how easy the road will be. But once you see it, once you taste the possibility of who you could become, you stop needing the world's permission. And that's when you get dangerous. Because now you don't just think, you act. Action is the great separator. The gap between those who wish and those who win. Between those who talk and those who build. Between those who look for motivation and those who generate it with movement. The world doesn't need more people with ideas. It needs more people with execution. People who do what they say. People who rise when it's hard. People who work in silence and let their results speak. Every time you act, you cast a vote for your future. Every time you move, you shift the ground beneath you. And over time, those small unseen steps become momentum. And momentum becomes identity. You stop saying, I hope I can, and you start saying, this is who I am. Discipline is how you get there. Not hacks, not shortcuts, not secrets. Discipline. That sacred decision to do it again. To do it when you're tired. To do it when no one notices. To do it when every cell in your body screams, not today. Discipline is not about punishment, it's about freedom. Because when you are disciplined, you are no longer a slave to your feelings. You stop bowing to your excuses. You stop giving your power away to weakness, to cravings, to fear. You stop waiting for perfect conditions and become the kind of person who creates their own weather. When the storm comes, you don't run, you lead. Because discipline has built a mind that doesn't fold. You want to be unstoppable? Be consistent. Be boring. Be the person who does it anyway every single day. While others are distracted, you're working. While others are waiting, you're building. While others complain, you rise. You're not here for average. You're not here to dabble. You're here to dominate your moment. And domination doesn't come from a single massive effort. It comes from quiet, violent consistency. Because if you stay consistent long enough, you stop needing to chase the dream. The dream starts chasing you. But it all begins with that first move, that first commitment, that single non-negotiable yes to yourself. You don't need the stars to align. You don't need the universe to confirm it. You don't need to be fearless, flawless, or fully confident. You just need to start, because the clock is still ticking and the world isn't slowing down. And the gap between who you are and who you could be will only close with discipline and motion. You don't need another sign. This is it. This is the moment where everything can begin again, if you choose to let it. Because beyond mindset, belief, clarity, and discipline, there's something even deeper, something that makes it all worth it. Purpose. Purpose is not some mystical energy. It's not a quote on the wall or a line in your bio. Purpose is your reason, the why behind every painful step, the thing that makes struggle sacred and discipline desirable. Without purpose, discipline is a chore. With purpose, it becomes devotion, a sacred act of becoming. Your purpose doesn't have to be grand, but it must be real. It must come from the soul, not the ego. Because when your heart is aligned with your effort, you become unstoppable. You don't chase validation, you chase impact. You don't beg for praise. You live to serve something greater than yourself. You were not made to live on autopilot, to float through life with a muted heart, to work jobs you hate and say maybe one day. You were made to burn for something, to give your time, your energy, your pain, to a cause that outlives you. Your purpose may not be understood. That's okay. It's not supposed to be understood by everyone. It's supposed to be followed by you. And once you commit to purpose, once you say, this is what I'm building, no matter who claps, you free yourself from the opinions of the crowd. And in that freedom, you find your true strength. But strength isn't just measured by how much you lift. It's measured by how deeply you love, how long you endure, how often you show up when no one says thank you. That's where gratitude becomes your fuel. You don't grind because you hate where you are. You grind because you love what you've been given. You love the fight. You love the chance to rise. You love the pain because it proves you're still alive. You've been given a gift, the gift of time, the gift of breath, the gift of one more chance. Do you realize how many people would trade places with you just to have this opportunity, this moment, this life? You are not stuck. You are chosen. And once you recognize that, gratitude becomes a weapon against procrastination, against self-pity, against that small voice that whispers, just rest a little longer. No, we don't rest in delay. We rest in progress. We rest when we've moved the needle. We rest when we've left a mark. Because you don't need ease. You need resilience. Resilience is what carries you when belief fades, when motivation dies, when your vision blurs and all you have left is your refusal to break. The road will get dark. You will feel alone. You will wonder if it's worth it. That's the test. That's the filter life uses to separate the committed from the curious. Everyone wants the breakthrough, but only the resilient survive the breakdown. You must become the kind of person who keeps going, not because it's easy, but because it's necessary. You're going to get knocked down. Good, because every fall is a rehearsal for your rise. Every setback is a lesson written in grit, and every delay is a sacred space to sharpen your edge. You think life is punishing you? No. Life is preparing you for something bigger, something harder, something worth it. You think the detour means you're lost. No, it means your path is being refined. The weak quit when it's dark. The resilient become their own light. And when you become that light, when you stop waiting, stop wishing, stop apologizing for wanting more, you don't just change your life. You start to change the world around you. You stop being a spectator. You become the spark. People will feel your energy. They'll draw from your example. They'll rise just by watching you refuse to bow. And that's legacy. Legacy is not built in one day. It's built daily, in private, in discipline, in doing what most will never do. But here's the hardest truth: legacy is not promised. It's earned. You will not be remembered for what you intended to do. You will be remembered for what you did. So what will they say? That you waited, that you tried but not quite? Or will they say he burned for something real? He moved with fire. He stood tall while others fell silent. He didn't wait. He acted. Because in the end, it's not about how many years you lived. It's about how deeply you mattered. And to matter, you must move. You must rise. You must stop waiting for the right time. Because the time is now. And if not now, then when this is not just this is your line, the invisible moment in time that separates who you've been from who not, because the world changed, but because you did. Because finally something inside of you snapped. You got tired of your own excuses. You got sick of the cycle. You stopped blaming the world, the system, the timing, and you looked in the mirror and said no more. Because that's when everything begins. Not when you get inspired, not when you feel ready, but when you take ownership. Full radical ownership of your life. No more waiting. No more hoping someone will come fix it for you. No more lying to yourself that you'll start tomorrow. Tomorrow is not guaranteed, but this moment right here, right now is. You want to win? Then act like it. Think like it. Work like it. Train like your life depends on it, because it does. This life isn't a dress rehearsal. You don't get a second take. You don't get to rewind the clock and redo your 20s, your 30s, your 40s. You don't get to be 80 years old begging for one more shot. This is your shot. And every day you delay, every time you choose comfort over courage, you're robbing your future self of everything they deserve. You're robbing your family. You're robbing your purpose. You're robbing the world of the gift you were supposed to become. No one owes you a thing. The world is not required to understand you. No one is coming with a manual for your potential. You've got to write it yourself, one decision at a time. So what's it going to be? Will you keep scrolling, keep numbing, keep talking a big game with no action behind it? Or will you move like you've already won, speak like you've already become who you were born to be, wake up and grind like there's no plan B? Because there is no plan B. There is only this one life, this one shot, this one season that will never come again. The pain of discipline is temporary. The pain of regret is forever. That's the choice you make today. You either suffer now to build something that lasts, or suffer later, wondering what could have been. And if you think this is just motivational talk, good luck. Because this isn't hype. This is reality. This is the raw truth most people ignore until it's too late. The truth that your life is your responsibility, that you already have the tools, that you already know what needs to be done. You're just afraid to do it. But fear is a liar. Fear is the voice that says, wait just a little longer. Fear is the hand that keeps you in bed. Fear is the story that says you're not ready, but you are. You're more ready than you've ever been. Because readiness doesn't come from knowledge. It comes from movement, from stepping into the fire before you feel brave. That's what separates the few who change the world from the many who just watch it happen. They don't wait, they decide. They don't hope, they act. They don't complain, they build. They don't wait for the perfect time. They look life in the eye and say, I'm ready. Not because it's easy, not because it's safe, but because I refuse to die with my potential still inside me. Because that's what death really is. Not the day your heart stops beating, but the day you stop trying. So don't you dare stop now. Don't you dare let fear write your ending. Don't you dare settle for average when greatness is within reach. You didn't come this far just to coast. You didn't survive the worst days of your life to live the rest on autopilot. You were built to lead, built to fight, built to rise, and every setback was preparing you for this moment. So stand up, speak up, show up, train like your name is already etched in history. Move like your children will model your footsteps. Act like you're on fire because you are. The spark has been there all along. It never left. It just needed permission, so give it. And let the world feel what happens when someone finally stops waiting and starts becoming. This is your moment, not next week, not when you feel ready, now. Because there is no such thing as the right time. There is only the moment you decide this is it. I will no longer delay my future. I will no longer negotiate with fear. I will no longer bow to comfort. I am done waiting. I am done wishing. I am done doubting. It's now or never, and I choose now.